Welcome to the Barbarian Keep. I'm Old Man Barbarian. Here we review tales of Robert E. Howard's greatest character, Conan, the Barbarian. Today we will be reviewing Titan's Savage Sword of Conan number 10. This won't be some fluffy review. It'll be an old man's honest opinion. And just as a heads up, there will be spoilers. So I don't want you to go crying to your mummy because I spoiled it for you. If you don't want the spoilers, then advance to the end of the video for the summary. And with that, let's get after it. And there we have it. Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 10, in all its pathetic glory. I cannot believe that Titan has produced a cover, especially cover A, which has been sent to the masses, that does not feature Conan. Marvel did 235 issues plus an annual. Every issue had Conan on the cover. Titan has around 20 odd covers with their main cover, A covers, and a bunch of their silly variants. All of those have Conan on the cover. But here we have Savage Sword of Conan with no Conan. I can't believe that Titan disrespected the character Conan that much by producing this cover. I just can't get over that. Let's get into the issue. Hopefully it's better than the cover. Front page, we have an ad for the limited edition action figure. We have the Chronicles. We have the map, which I do like the map. Good detail in the map. Table of contents. Write-up by Jim Zub. He kind of talks a little bit about the past Conan series, Battle of the Black Stone, and he touches on Howard's Spear and Fang and Sailor Steve, and he mentions that he's kind of wrapping up some dangling plot business from issue 18 of the regular Conan the Barbarian series. I'm not going to go in any detail. I'm just going to point out a couple things here that I guess was a little bit confusing for me. We start with Conan in the bar, or the tavern, which he likes to enjoy to have a drink and have a good party. The art was done by Doug Braithwaite and the story by Jim Zub. So while Conan's in this tavern, he sees somebody from his past. It was Tarnarsha. And this is where I think Jim Zub is trying to clean up some stuff from issue 18, where she betrayed Conan and Belit. So there's some flashback scenes there. So anyway, she leaves the bar. Conan follows. She attacks him. They get into quite a scuffle. Some pretty good fight scenes. Some good action. And then Conan is hit by a poisoned dart, which appears to be a twin sister to Tarnarsha. And Conan has some funky dreams. And then he wakes up, but it is not Tarnarsha. It's Aramai, sister of Set. So this kind of confused me a little bit. But apparently she can do some face changing, kind of remind me a bit of Arya from Game of Thrones, that the god of many faces. So she can change faces, and Conan was mistaken that this was Tarnarsha. So I guess this really doesn't really clean up anything in issue 18. It's only kind of confusing things. The only thing that I can, I guess, get of it is when they make the comment here that the woman was a foul thief. When they say was, does that mean that they killed her or she's dead? Is that how Jim is kind of tying up the plot from issue 18? I'm not quite sure on that. So that was a bit of a confusing part of the book. The other part that is a little bit confusing is around Set. You know, I have nothing but good to say about Jim and how he's tying things in from the Marvel times and the movies. I think he's doing an exceptional job. But this whole Set thing has really got me kind of wondering. in this particular panel here, it says, may Father Set guide your gaze, sisters. And then one of the sisters say, and may she bless you as well, brothers. What the I don't understand that. Is there two factions here? Is there one faction that thinks that Set is male and another that thinks Set is female? You know, Robert E. Howard said that Set was a very old god, so you would think that they would have the gender figured out by now. So I'm not quite sure where that's all going, but it is a point of confusion for me. Anyway, Conan gets put in jail. He gets out of jail, raises some hell. Typical Conan stuff. The splash page here. The one thing about Doug's art, it just seems a little bit sketchy and incomplete or rushed, with like detail missing. Like the figures in the back, you can hardly make out any facial features. If you look at Doug's pinup from issue 8, I think it was, he had a stellar pinup in there. Lots of good detail. And I understand a pinup's going to have a little bit more detail, but it seems like between the pinup and the art in this particular story is quite a ways apart from each other. Anyway, Conan ends up killing one of the sisters, and I think this is basically a fairly decent setup for Jim's new series, The Scourge of the Serpent. We have a pinup by Max von Febner, which to me is garbage. It looks like cut and paste. It just reflects right back to issue 1 that was done by this person. It's not my style. It just doesn't, you know, it doesn't look like it was you know, drawn. It just looks like it was kind of patched all together. So I wasn't a big fan of that pinup. Now, Jim Zub's story about the Fang and Spear, art was decent on that. Story was good. Full marks for that one. It's a good story to be in Savage Sword of Conan for sure. Probably the best artwork I found in this whole issue was this pinup here by Ivan Gill. I really like that. Then we have a pinup here of Sailor Steve and the story that Jim Zub wrote about Sailor Steve. Didn't mind the story. Artwork's not bad. Like, I really like Rob DiLatero. He's an excellent artist, but again with this one it just seems like it's rushed. He did a pin-up in issue number 1 of Savage Sword, and it doesn't even look like it was really done by the same person. The detail is just not sharp. Like, the hatching is kind of spaced. It just seems like more of a sketch than a finished product. So I was a little bit disappointed in, you know, this excellent artist not really, you know, producing what I feel that he probably can. Again, Sailor Steve, one of Howard's characters. An appropriate spot to have it in as a backup story to Conan. Enjoyed it. No issue with that whatsoever. And then the back cover is some artwork from, I think, the next issue with Cormac MacArt in it. Hopefully they do not have cover A with Cormac MacArt on the cover. I'll be very disgruntled about that. This is Savage Sword of Conan, and there should be some Conan on the cover. There you have it, a disappointing issue of Savage Sword of Conan. I can't believe that Titan Comics disrespected Conan by not featuring him on the cover of his own magazine. This isn't Savage Sword of Steve, it's Savage Sword of Conan, so have Conan on the cover. Jim Zub, not his best writing, but not bad. The artwork from the two giants of the new Conan series could be better. I was a little bit disappointed. With that, I bid you farewell.